Good evening, everyone. It's Tuesday, March 24th, and we're back with another edition of the Poem of the Day. This will mark a week of Poems of the Day for me, and I'm really excited to bring you a poem that I've known for a while, and it's popped up in my life in a bunch of different ways. We had a digital department meeting today, and it was so refreshing and so fulfilling to see everyone, even if it was a tiny screen. I miss my colleagues, and I miss my friends. I miss my students. I miss all the people that we usually spend the day with. Which is not to say I'm not loving and cherishing and adoring every second of the time I get to spend with my wife and our little guy and the dog. It's I'm treasuring those things. But I think it's normal to, I'm missing the people that I spend a lot of my time collaborating with and sharing things with and laughing with and venting to. And someone said it, better than I'm going to be able to recreate now, about how we feel a little lost. We feel a little purposeless. And I feel that too. I'm struggling. And I know that there are people who have it way worse right now than me. But I think to deny those feelings is not really healthy and doesn't help anyone. So for anyone who's here, be good to yourself and take care of yourself. And I want to share this poem that is just so filled with power. And Coach Richardson reads it sometimes before races, and it just, when we get to the end, I think the message of the poem will really ring true. And I thought, I knew I was going to read this poem before our digital department meeting, but walking away after having had the chance to kind of share those struggles with my colleagues, I'm more sure than ever that even though things are changing, even though things are different, even though things are giant question marks right now, I'm comforted and I'm inspired by this particular poem. So this is a poem called "Famous" by Naomi Shihab. You may recognize it, and it's just outstanding, I think. So I'm going to do my best to do it some justice. Here we go. Famous. The river is famous to the fish. The loud voice is famous to silence, which knew it would inherit the earth before anybody said so. The cat sleeping on the fence is famous to the birds watching him from the distance. Excuse me. The cat sleeping on the fence is famous to the birds watching him from the birdhouse. The tear is famous, briefly, to the cheek. The idea you carry close to your bosom is famous to your bosom. The boot is famous to the earth, more famous than the dress shoe, which is famous only to floors. The bent photograph is famous to the one who carries it, and not at all famous to the one who is pictured. I want to be famous to shuffling men who smile while crossing streets, sticky children in grocery lines, famous as the one who smiled back. I want to be famous in the way a pulley is famous, or a buttonhole, not because it did anything spectacular, but because it never forgot what it could do. I get goosebumps even when I misread it. My apologies to Naomi Shihab for misspeaking there with birdhouse and distance. I don't know. I feel like that could, like this could be the background of one of those Nike commercials or something like that. It's just so intensely inspirational, and it really got me thinking when we were talking about feeling a little helpless and a little lost in terms of like the things that all of us do are interrupted right now, and we don't get that FaceTime with each other. We don't get the FaceTime with the students. And it's, the things that we spend so much time cultivating, in terms of even, the whole arc of a school year, for example, it feels so different because it has to be different right now. And we're struggling with that. But I love the way this poem ends with, I want to be famous in the way a pulley is famous or a buttonhole, not because it did anything spectacular, but because it never forgot what it could do. It's just so empowering. And I think I'm going to try to turn a little bit of a corner. It's been just over a week now. And I think I need to turn a corner in the sense of like, okay, don't forget like what you could do. We need to be creative. We need to make sure that we're following the rules, and we want to make sure that we're being equitable to everyone. But I don't want to be famous, but I want to remember what it is that I could do. I don't want to forget what I could do, when it comes to, forging meaningful connections and helping young people, figure out what it is they believe in and how to express it and things like that. It's someone went out of the way, as I mentioned in one of the earlier poem of the days, someone went out of the way to make me know how important it was to develop a sense of passion and control over, how I'm putting things out into the world. And I think now more than ever, it's really important that everyone gets the chance to be seen and heard, and know that they are worth it, like that teacher did for me. So we're going to figure this out. We might need to be a little creative, but we're gonna figure this out. And I wanted to just share this poem because it's just so filled with power and inspiration, and I think we all could use a little bit of that right now. So thanks for listening. Sorry about ranting and rambling. I hope you're all well. Continue washing your hands. Continue giving everyone space and laughing, and remember, it's always better to build up than it is. It's easier to build. Or maybe it's easier to take down. It's better to build than it is to destroy. So even though we can't be with each other, we can still rely on each other to build